matches. So let's get it started. And again, you can see the 4-box there. If you're playing in the semifinals, we have a chance to jump into your matches, hop on in, get in there, get the gameplay going right now, jumping on board with SYJNQLF. I have no clue how to pronounce that. Not even going to try. Picking up a nice elim there as we move into Circle 5. You see SYJNQLF picking up another, nope, actually self-eliminating there. So going down, unfortunately. Now you can see Slayer trying to find an angle on this player and able to get Teaser there, going down, no problem, but getting pushed, Jack.
Oh, no, that's a quick, heavy snipe play, but no! Somehow Slayer turns it around. The aggression doesn't pay off. Remember, 50 health on elimination. So going from 31 HP up to 81. And here's a perfect example, right? Sundown of Slayer making this rotation happen. Now because they stayed alive long enough, they got the placement points. Potentially another elimination coming on in here. Now top 15. So that was what? A 7-point swing right there? 8-point swing right there? Since we went on board with Slayer.
There's one of the players we were talking about, Atlantis' Mitro up on the high ground, and Mitro picking up an elim there. He's known for playing this high ground scenario, already sitting on 4 elims, and he has that legendary infantry rifle along with the legendary pumps and putting tons of pressure down on their opponent.
That was huge right there. Only 5 assault rifle shots left up until that final elim. Now Mitro moving towards the zone. What you'll see from this player, he can't get too high up. Thankfully, he has the cliff right there to fall down on if needed. 8 players remaining. The beam with that legendary infantry rifle continuing to keep his high ground. Great placement traps down. 65 total builds left at 16 points so far in this first game.
Yeah, the poison trap did fire. You heard it go off there. That's 80 straight damage going through, bypass the shield, so picking up an elim there. Now going to go to work from the high ground with that RPG. It's going to be incredibly hard to contest him now that we're into that 9th circle. The zone is so narrow that because he already has high ground, he can just keep raining down shots. Ons goes down. That's 7 elims already, and he's into the top 3.
Top 3 with the high ground right now. Mitro continuing to rain down terror with this legendary rocket launcher. Another one comes on through. Midnight desperately trying to stay alive. That's a quick shotgun tag there as well for Mitro. One player still left in a baller, I believe, did just either rift or launch pad up above.
Yeah, did get rifted up to have that amount of height and go back down, but Midnight's going down. So it was Krakito who was in that baller, and Mitro can actually reload and get him with the RPG because of how low it is. Krakito tries to grapple back up, but loses the high ground. Mitro's just going to try and position him out here. You have Mitro in the top right, Krakito in the bottom right, wide on the left-hand side here.
My goodness, what a performance so far for Mitro in this one. Drops the campfire down. Krakito trying to dodge these rocket shots from coming on in. Health advantage still to Mitro. Krakito has all the materials in the world because, you know, they spend most of the game in that baller, but whips the build for a second, drops all the way down, and now it looks like it's Mitro's game to win. There it is. Yes, the health was ticking down, but in the end, it's not enough for Krakito. And one of the 3 players you mentioned, Sundown, Mitro, victory royale and 9 eliminations, a monster performance. The ability to fire back from more than, what, 10 feet away?
Yeah, there's nothing he's going to be able to do there now as we jump back on board with Anxios, who's sitting now on 9 eliminations and putting that suppressed SMG to work. We talk about how strong that rare SMG is all the time. Now, Johnny Jepp going down there as well. The reason players tend to favor this over the compact is it has a slightly more effective rate of fire per damage ratio, so it actually sprays against walls and players better. So in these tight quarters situation, it's incredibly valuable, and he's showing it here. Now, he does have a pump shotgun. The toolbar is not showing that, but able to clean it up there.
That was almost a perfect bait. You can't go any higher up. They don't want to go all the way down because at that point, you have no chance to really build. That's it for the builds. It's now down to just pure gun skill. There's the shot and the elimination. Beautifully done. Materials now on deck, at least enough to build with for the next couple moments. That'll actually get him to the high ground. That's a game-saving play, Sundown.
Game-saving play, and also pushes him into the top 5 as well, and gives him the campfire. So now he can just hang out on the high ground and wait. Everyone else is going to battle it out as Awalane is able to pick up 2 elims on the low ground. But Anxios is just sitting pretty now, has high ground, 10 builds. Awalane, he has the health advantage as well. I mean, it's going to be incredibly difficult for him to not take this away.
Yeah. Anxios going for it all right now. The spray comes in with the SMG, the wall replays, the shot, the elimination. 14 elims and the victory royale, Sundown. Half the time this is going on for me, Sundown, when I'm playing, I'm like, panicked about who's near me, you know, what's going on. I get in the zone, and then I'd barely be able to put any damage down range. These guys get in the zone, and you saw the second he was knowing that he was safe, he was immediately laying down shots and is getting back into every bit of fighting he can get into.
Yeah, and there was that rift right next to him, but he opts not to take it as he's looking for more of those fights because he knows it does connect, but not onto that Ballard player. Looking to follow it up, 22 white, finds the second one, TMK 35 going down there, but Benji in a little bit of a tight spot. Royale's insane on the high ground, Benji working through the low ground.
And Benji using that natural, you know, expedition site that's already there as cover. Gives him peace of mind as he tries to push on forward. Does get a quick fight with Pure. That's an elimination right there for the 50 extra HP. One player with a bush nearby.
Yeah, and Zealot has no builds either, so he's reliant on whatever RB has. Benji throwing up the boogie bomb, but like we said, that respects LOS. But RB dropping down onto Benji, does still have that bush, but gets shredded off, trying to push through. Benji does convert, 25 HP, puts the trap down, will it fire? No, does not go off. The player sidesteps it. Can Benji get back in the zone? Yes, he does, 5 HP. Zealot now in the top right, he's looking for Benji, he knows he's low, doesn't find the shot.
No builds, he can't match this build-up. Does Benji Fishy what he did? He's blocked out of the zone. Benji Fishy, 5 HP, gets the job done, and look at the amount of mats left.
Putting out a solid average of scores in order to even make it for a chance to compete at one of those qualifying spots. As a big brain Prevo, not so big brain there. Yako taking him down, no problem.
Nice, I like that. Folks building on out.
Those rounds definitely still hurt the first shot accuracy. Able to punish there, but now Pokes picking up a great backside of the storm rotation, but still need to be ready to fight. Hits that minimum 30 damage threshold right there as he gets ripped from the high ground from Sake, but Sake then gets ripped from somebody else on the other side, and this is just chaos in this rotation.
Yep, it's one of those moments where it's like you take a peek out just to be able to get some damage down range, and that can wind up spelling your demise. Good
or smelling your demise.
Oh, well done right there, Sundown. Brownie points for you. As the sync grenade does come through, Rift being used as Pokes get there in time. Doesn't look like it'll happen.
No, and you see Drunk there down to nearly no effective HP as Sake now on the high ground punishes YRQY, taking him down and getting the launch pad first trouble now on the high ground with only 7 players remaining. Can he make it 6? Yes, he does, picking up Flowy, so almost to that next placement threshold as well with a ton of builds and a rift.
Yeah, you've got to think this is Sake's game to win. Turning back around, beaming Pure out of the sky. Near max material, Sake, brilliant shotgun shot, as well as a swap back to the assault rifle. You know, the accuracy of these players in the late game makes all the difference. Sake now looking down low, 3 players remaining who can get those valuable final victory royale points when it comes down to the placement.
Poison traps now on the low ground, trying to add a little bit of protection. This is such a tense 1v1. It's been going on forever, but finally Sake breaks the ice, taking down XD Kayuba, and now it's just a 1v1.
And the player that's down low would hear the shields being cracked, but it doesn't matter. Sake drops down. Quick elimination, victory royale, 37 points in total now for Sake. That elimination from Quexy, not only a 1-point elim, as we know, but 2 extra points for placing now in the top 15. How about another point for the elimination onto Avenary?
Like infantry rifle headshots, maybe? That had to have been 88 damage?
Or just a brilliant pump shotgun shot from NXSRZ. I mean, I have no idea what that just was, but hey.
Speaking of brilliant pump shots.
Yeah, Quexy hasn't seemed to miss in the last few scenarios we've watched. I think Quexy for a moment was contemplating grabbing that heavy sniper rifle, doesn't wind up picking it up in the end, down to just 2 minis, but again, still a ton of materials to build with. Down to our top 8, extra placement points come in for our top 5.
Look how far south we are right now, Jack. We could get real awkward with this movement as it gets awkward when DRG, one of the players who has already qualified,
Pepper with just about exactly 100 HP. Storms, no shields left. This is all signs of being a Quexy victory. We'll see what Storms can do. 8 total builds now. There's the RPG I was worried about if you're Quexy. You can see how panicked he is at the moment. Probably going to go try to farm this tree if I had to guess.
Needs whatever he can.
There's only one hit.
Swing. It's not even a build.
God.
Oh, no.
Trying to farm a bench.
It was one.
Yeah, I knew it. At that point, low ground, no builds. Pepper does drop, at least earning some placement points that game.
that rocket launcher reloaded, trying to find the shot on the low ground, but can't quite sneak it in as we move through all of this cover. You talked about the natural cover being so good at dissuading this, but Pepper ends up capitalizing from Flexy's pressure on above. Now it gets real awkward, but Flexy finds the angle.
The second you get a hit like that, oh, Flexy's getting actually pushed out of the zone due to this metal build. Does get back in time. With the campfire being here, with how low Pepper's health is, Flexy should just sit this one on out. Let this game end. Surprised not putting pyramids down, but it is done and dusted. Brilliantly done by Flexy. And when it comes down to it, again, look at the mats left.
As now with those elims, we're pushed into the top 15, 2 more placement points, and we're above the lava.
Steezy, close range fight can be so awkward when you're stuck under these stairs. Well, won the first one. Can he do it again? Seems like right now, just going to stay alive for the moment. Storm's still pushing away. 7 total minis in the inventory right now. Oh, sorry, it was a Slurpee popped. I missed that it was a Slurp juice at first. I'm like, wow, Steezy was kind of stacked right there. Another close range elimination. Again, in these late game zones, there's so many ways you can practice in creative mode, and one of the most important ones is being able to quickly hit shots when you and the opponent are both kind of... Also, with the different changes in elevation, not panicking, 115 mats, redeploy can be used. Brilliantly blocks the first launch pad play. One player landing right on him, does with the shotgun, and he traps the inventory, doesn't appear so. 2 players now up top. This panic spray coming in with that suppressed assault rifle. Peeking down from this high ground, Steezy on the low ground, 6 elims to this point.
Yeah, now top 3 situation. Steezy able to pick that one up and also getting great shots onto Quickie Rookie there. Now we're into a 1v1. Steezy sitting on 7 elims, but is on low ground. Health
no mats.
Close to equal. But yeah, you're right. No mats, cannot move. Is going to be completely at the mercy of this zone. Trying to force Nabo down. Just force him to fight.
In the lava.
He's going to the lava. The floor is literally lava. But Steezy has pushed Nabo out and he gets it. Courage, he gets it.
That should never happen if you're Nabo. That should never happen. You should never lose that scenario that you just saw.
Probably open up another Fortnite set and host another little shield wall.
Yeah, right.
Little inventory.
As when we're all trying to put down shots with this epic infantry rifle. Now I guess it's time for the minigun.
That's a long-range minigun.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe has enough ammo for it. 630 rounds. Kygos gets cut down by that infantry rifle.
Look at the angle he's peeking from.
Yep.
And we talk about learning from the best of the players. Just look at how they use cones. Not a big fan.
Not a big fan.
I'm not a big fan either. Not a fan of the special characters.
Yeah,
you know,
in the name.
Also just a pain for when I was like doing a lot of the administration stuff, trying to track down who some of these players were. As Jency does pick up Mongrel, who's not going to have a smiley face on his face after that one.
No.
As we're into the top 7, and 2 RPGs also from Jency as he gets the drop, but the shot doesn't come out with the pump. I don't know if he panicked there, but gets a great flick onto George to kind of redeem himself.
Somehow flicks as well as retakes high ground over the player he was just fighting. Kind of a double whammy right there. Jency moving on in towards zone, wants to stop for a moment, try to get another slurp popped.
But he only has 1 more mat now. Looking at the wide, you have Sajantu building his way down towards Kienseth, who was another one of those players who was pushed out from that tiebreaker by DRG. Just missed it last week in the solos. Now you have 2 different 1v1s, Dolar C and Jency on the low ground, Sajantu and Giants Kienseth on the high ground, as Jency trying to find an angle. Great pump shot there, but can he finish it?
Wow, edits a player down in 2 from up top. 3 players remaining. Shazamtu still up on the high ground. Kianseth trying to move out of the zone. The rocket hits. There he goes. And Shazamtu drops down. Jency with the win. 1 rocket makes all the difference. Both players caught off guard. And that was Jency's last RPG shot. Vertical hill.
So you're forced to build your way up there if you are on the low ground, or use any utility, which doesn't sound that hard. All these players are able to do a bunch of 90s. The issue is, based off of when you're rotating, as we now get into that top 25, other players have already built in the way. So now you have to build your own way up there and deal with other players' builds as all the rotation is coming out. That momentum into horizontal speed going through, so it ends up being less of a glide time. And Aqua, great tracking of this player, but it gets eliminated actually by Webby.
RPG?
Yeah, from that high ground fire down there. still in the match. Saw him picking up an Elim there. Minskola picking up Ziki as well to get closer to that top 5. Aimson's getting another Elim there. I mean, this is a stacked endgame right now.
Yep.
Elliott picking up Parallel. So now all about the victory royales and the Elims from here on out. Top 5 are playing for the VR and to try and get as many points as they can. Naranjito, Elliott, Teddy
keeping that high ground. The foot knock play doesn't wind up working out, and that might actually spell Naren's demise. A quick pump does stay alive for the moment for the health on elimination. Minskola trades out that right there. Teddy dropping on down 197 HP to just 60.
Yep, trying to drop him down, does get the drop down from VGIA Teddy.
Yep.
And the player from Vodafone Giants taking home the victory route at 50 points right now.
Final, so people are not feeling it as hard as they would tomorrow, but Lecce, who just signed to Atlantis, I believe today or maybe yesterday, absolutely on top right now. Flexi as well, we saw him in that last game. And we talked about just briefly, 53 points or around there was the qualifying range for last week's, or the first solo week.
Yeah.
So everybody making their way up. It's still early, so still feeling their, getting their groove, you know?
Yeah, you probably want to assume that a lot of these players are just looking to qualify for tomorrow. Maybe they don't want to show off maybe landing spots or potential strategies they have, but